It's kind of funny because I usually choose my dad, but the older I got, the more influential my mother was in financial matters. But my best memories I recall of an adult who played that influential role in my life was my father. And some of the words that he would use to describe or communicate his values having to do with money were, it doesn't grow on trees. I remember hearing that very much. Some of the dreams that, even though my father didn't really communicate it to me, we lived in a trailer. My dad was a truck driver, and one of the dreams was my dad wanted to build a house for us, which he did. That was very evident to me that that was something as a young person that my dad dreamed of doing, and was one of his goals or dreams was to build a house for his family, which he was able to do that. Philosophies and beliefs about money. My dad believed in hard work. You had to be a hard worker. It was very important to work. And, you know, if you needed something done, then you needed to get up and do it. And that was really sort of his message was, you know, hard work pays off. Income, I already mentioned my dad was a truck driver. I never knew until I went to college that there was class, that my dad was a blue-collar class. I never knew that. He wore a blue shirt. His name was on it. I never knew anything about that until I went to college. And I think I took a sociology class or something. I was like, oh, I'm that. I never knew that there were distinctions in that way. But, yep, and expenses. Well, something I was aware of as a child were clothes, school clothes. I was always wanting things that were sometimes not attainable, sometimes attainable. That was things that my parents talked about. We need to buy school clothes. Insurance, I never knew what that was when I was younger, but I heard it at the dinner table. The insurance payment is due. I was like, what's that? I don't know, it's scary. I don't know why they're talking about that. And housing. And heat. They talked about the heat bill a lot. You know, I grew up in northern New York, and that was something that I heard discussed at the dinner table. Concerns. And a lot of times, I mean, I don't think my parents, my father, intended to communicate to me their concerns about money, yet that communication did occur. I was aware that there were concerns. They changed from time to time what they were. One of the concerns was housing. How are they going to afford to build this house? How were they cutting back in other areas to be able to have the money to buy the land, to, you know, to build this house that they did? So that was something that I knew they were concerned about, and I heard that. Also, illness. When someone got sick, it was a big deal. We got to pay for the, you know, the doctor bills, the medicine, stuff like that, which was related to this thing. But I, of course, did not understand that when I was younger. Skills, my dad is the type of guy who can strike up a conversation at the drinking fountain with someone and make a friend. So as far as, you know, money matters, my father was really good at networking, although he never would have used that term. He never would have understood it in that way. But he knew somebody who could get the thing done that needed to be done. So my dad had good networking skills. So that's my example. I would like you to choose a person that influenced your ideas about money and fill in a few details in each of the categories, and we'll share. You don't have to do your stick figure. You can, you know, they could have hair and, you know, an earring or something, whatever floats your boat. Be as creative as you like. And Melissa and Aaron